Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. Honestly, this battle could have been an episode of a Game of Throws, for reasons which will become apparent as the gameplay develops. This is STG Kenny 1814 in a Tier 7 standard battle here on the Glacier map. He's in the German Tier 7 tank destroyer, the Jagdpanther. Although the matchmaking spread in this battle is only one tier, so the various different tiers of the tanks involved is not really that important. Kenny makes a lot of mistakes in the beginning of this battle. He admits as much in the email that accompanied his battle replay. Most of those mistakes are an issue of poor positioning choices, and don't worry, you'll have plenty of time to observe and criticise the mistakes at length as he commits them. While he's doing that, let's take a quick look at the vehicle that he's driving. So, what is immediately obvious is that he's using the 105mm gun, and not the long 88. Now most people would consider this a mistake, because technically, the overall stats of the long 88 are better. But not really by much. Although both guns do share, well, not bad, but certainly not great gun depression. Which means that when you're climbing up a slope like this, it's very difficult to actually get the gun down and shoot at targets on the other side. It does maximise the effectiveness of your frontal armour though, because it is sloped back, but that doesn't help you against artillery that just shaved off a quarter of his health. The argument about which gun is best on this machine, the 105 that Kenny's using, or the long 88, which most people would say is the best gun, basically comes down to the stats of the two different weapons. And it is true that the long 88 is superior in most regards, but not by much. The long 88 has better penetration, but it's only 203mm compared to the 105's 200, so not really that much of a difference. The long 88 is also more accurate, but it's only 0.32 accuracy compared to the 105's 0.34, which is still pretty accurate. Kenny, you know you're exposed to flanking fire from that position, from the guys in the tree line over there on the right hand side, yeah? Like we said, some poor positioning choices. I think he's only actually fired one shot yet, and it, well, didn't hit anything. Anyway, the guns, yes. The 105 does do more alpha damage, but effectively the DPM is about the same because it has a slower rate of fire than the long 88. But where the... oof, ow, yeah, that one hurt. He's now down to less than half health, still hasn't done any damage. But where the 105 stands out is in its vastly superior aiming time. It only takes 1.7 seconds to narrow the aiming reticle on this thing, which is more than half a second faster than on the long 88, which is kind of surprising. Larger caliber guns on tank destroyers in this game do tend to have longer aiming times, but not in this case. Although honestly, you could go with either gun on the Jagdpanther, the 105 or the long 88, and you'll be fine. Both have their advantages, and any disadvantages between the two are not that great, aside from the aiming time, which is considerably better with the 105. Kenny still struggling to find a useful position from which to actually do anything in this battle. He's lost more than half of his health. At the moment the scores are even, 2 kills apiece. I thought initially when he moved up to this spot that his left flank was going to be horribly vulnerable, and it was for the first minute or so, but then a pair of heavies moved up. The enemy team really did miss a chance to exploit that open flank up on the northwestern corner before those, well, actually 3 heavies got there, but they're there now, so it's all good. The flank, for the moment, is secure. But this is a horrible spot. There's absolutely nothing to shoot at. Well, aside from, what even is that? How do you say that? I gave up trying to keep track of all of the new premiums that get introduced into this game a long time ago. Well, it looks like Kenny's finally realised that he's on a high road to absolutely nowhere in that position, and oh, he very nearly flips the tank and brings this battle to an end, at least as far as he's concerned. And while he is almost flipping the tank over, the team's casualties start stacking up. They're now losing 2 kills to 6. And he gets his first actual chance to do some real damage against the A45 there, and it ricochets. So he's still done no damage, and he's down to less than half health. And the battle timer is almost a third done, and then, just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, artillery starts taking an interest, fortunately not scoring any direct hits, but stunning his crew and damaging his tracks. I think it's fair to say that the enemy team have the upper hand here with a 4-kill lead and a 1,000 hit point advantage with a third of the battle expired. And honestly, I think it's fair to say, and Kenny probably wouldn't disagree, that he shares a lot of the responsibility for that. He's a top-tier tank destroyer with an extremely powerful gun. The battle's more than a third over, and he still hasn't actually scored any damage. Tiger 131 on the corner over there. Finishes off the A45 that Kenny donked his shot at. The team still have a more than 1,000 hit point deficit, as well as being 4 kills behind again. Oh lordy, 5 kills behind, 6 kills behind. Kenny, do something. Dude, you're on YouTube. People are watching. You sent this replay in, okay? Oh, I don't understand why he's so afraid of the Churchill. I mean, yay! Kenny did something. There goes the IS-2M. And come on, Kenny, it's just a Churchill. There we go. I mean, it's tough, but you've got an angle on it, and its gun isn't really... Oh, actually, no, it's the Mark 7. It's got the 17-pounder. So, yes, its gun is worthy of respect. But anyway, it's dead. Oh, and the VK's been taken out as they try to sneak around and take out Tiger 131. Oh, the team are fighting back. I mean, you know, they're still 2,000 hit points and 4 kills behind, and the base is in the process of being overrun. Kenny, somebody sees you. Oh, there it is. Kenny is now down to less than 200 health. To be fair, he didn't have much opportunity to dodge that incoming shot. Basically, the second he got spotted, he got hit. But now the enemy team have they did have a 5-kill lead. It's back up to only 4, but they have 4 times the amount of hit point remaining shared across the entirety of Kenny's team. And with him on less than 200, it's not good, is it? Still, I've seen teams fight back successfully against worse odds than this. The enemy team basically now just have to make a lot of mistakes. And Kenny's team have to make none. Bit of a tall order, but I have seen it happen. Well, Tiger 131 just got taken out by the enemy Achilles, but then the friendly Hellcat pulls a kill back. It's still only a 4-kill difference, although, oh, okay, now it's a 5-kill difference, and there's only 303 hit points between Kenny and that Cheeto. And Kenny has nearly 200 of them. Oh, spotted. And the enemy team are capping. Except they're not actually capping, they're just moving through the cap circle in order to get to and kill the Cheeto SP over there. Kenny bungles his shot against the Type 58, who then obligingly stops, completely oblivious to the 105mm shell whistling over the top of his tank, and gives Kenny the opportunity to finish the job. He was alone against 6 enemies at the point where the Cheeto SP died. Now he's only alone against 5, and he has 197 hit points. What we really need now is for the enemy team to not bother capping and instead all come after him on low hit points, one at a time. So naturally, that's exactly what they do. Starting with the enemy Jagdpanther. Really? You thought that was a good idea? Well, he's not the only one, because here comes the Achilles. He does get a shot off, and then stops in front of a 105mm gun, waiting for his own reload, when he's a one-shot kill. By some miracle, Kenny bounces a shot from the rear from Stalin's hammer over there, the Su-122-44. A Tier 7 premium Russian tank destroyer with a rate of fire so insane it actually puts certain Tier 10 tank destroyers to shame in the DPM stakes. And he has more than half of his health remaining, and Kenny only has 48. In order for Kenny to win this fight, that Su-122-44 is going to have to make multiple mistakes. There's his first one, took the shot when it wasn't going to do any damage. Kenny burns the repair kit, gets a return shot off. Here's the second mistake. Basically exactly the same shot with an equally unlikely chance of success. Can Kenny get the shot off before he reloads? Yes, he can. Where was enemy artillery while all this was going on? Oh, there's one of them. Thinks he's a tank destroyer. The enemy team could have already won this fight a minute ago if they'd capped out. Although, when you're facing one opponent, and there's 6 of you, and that opponent only has 197 health, it's easy to see why they might have thought no cap kill all was a good idea. And to be fair to the enemy team at the time, 6 versus 1, no cap kill all actually was a fairly good idea, but not no cap kill all by very slowly and one at a time when we're on low health and can be one-shotted, drive up to him and sit in front of his 105mm gun before doing it all again, one after the other. Not such a good way of implementing it. 1 kill left for a Radley Walters medal. And unfortunately, while there are no large open bodies of water for artillery to suicide in on this map because it's all frozen in order to deny the last enemy the final kill, there are a couple of handy cliffs, because scumbags are always going to be scumbags. So, Radley Walters medal denied, but 7 kills, and he did get his first ever Kolobanov's medal for standing alone against at least 5, and at the time it was 6, enemy tanks. And again, being totally honest here, largely due to the abject incompetence of the 6 surviving enemies, but also because Kenny just stopped making mistakes. He managed to contrive to somehow, despite it all, still pull a win out of his arse. STG Kenny 1814 in the Jagdpanther with the 105mm gun, literally going from 0 to hero. Congratulations on your first ever Kolobanov's medal. Shame you were denied the Radley Walters medal, but, well, that's just the risk you take whenever there's artillery left alive on the enemy team at the end of a battle. Nevertheless, well done. Finally. And congratulations on your first Kolobanovs. And I hope you all enjoyed watching the enemy team hand it to him, because that is it for today. As always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.